Here I was thinking we'd have to wait until the new year until we had some more SBF stuff, but no, didn't take that long. And it's even piggybacking off of the previous video that I did, especially on this stuff right here, where he had, Robinhood stake, and it's like, of course, it's like the last time there was a big financial crisis or a big financial shindig that went down, it involved Robinhood. So yeah, they just seemed like perfect bedfellows. And then you add in the fact that, this guy was a scummy motherfucker all the way up top. And then it comes out that, he was using those ill-begotten funds in order to make his purchases of a company that is a little bit scummy to begin with. All of this stuff just fits together so perfectly that it has to be true, right? So Sam Bankman-Fried used $546 million in Alameda funds to buy, $430 million worth of stake now? Holy, to buy, yes, that said Robinhood stake, but let's get into this. Disgraced FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried borrowed $546 million from Alameda Research, which was probably afforded to Alameda Research via FTX's customers without their knowledge of it. But I guess this just kind of settles all of this stuff out. It's like, okay, cool. Bankman was trying to claw this back from creditors and all that, and Alameda and FTX were out there, under new leadership being like, no, we actually deserve that stuff. I would imagine probably in some form or fashion, regardless who ultimately ends up getting this stuff, probably won't be SBF. All of that money that's going to be reallocated is just going to go back to the people that were defrauded to begin with, okay? The indicted 30-year-old admitted he and co-founder Gary Wang, took out the money to buy the 7% stake in Robinhood, according to an affidavit Bankman-Fried made in a Caribbean court before he was arrested. That was released Tuesday. Oh, very interesting. So he already admitted to that. And then there was court filings after that where he was trying to get those fucking his shares back. Yeah, man, this dude sucks. Last week, Bankman-Fried denied he used the company funds to make the purchase in the bankruptcy battle with current FTX CEO John Ray. How is anybody going to take him seriously? My long shot bet that this guy's going to end up playing out to something ridiculously low and then it just ultimately gets shelved is looking far more likely, because how many times does he have to get his hand wedged firmly in that fucking cookie jar before people are like fed up with his nonsense? No jury's going to take him seriously because that impeachment binder of the prosecution's got to be about yay thick at this point. For fuck's sakes, he's lying about everything. Like, what's in that paper bag? Oh, another paper bag, and it's going to be somebody's fucking life savings. Like, this guy is such a perpetual liar. It's almost amazing. You'd think that he should be a girl but yes, the current CEO, John Ray, the hatchet man, he's in there to clean out everything before, FTX ultimately folds. He's looking to claw back the hundreds of millions of dollars from the alleged cryptocurrency grifter. Is he alleged at this point in time? Because he's using the funds from Alameda in order to make a purchase over here. But the Alameda funds were afforded to them by FTX, so come on now. Bankman-Fried claimed he was entitled to the Robinhood stake because I bought him fair and square. How'd you get that money? Shut up! Because he's the sole owner of the holding company, Emergent Fidelity Technologies Incorporated in Antigua, that made the acquisition. Yeah, it wasn't me who bought it. It was, let me check which shell company this is again. All right, Emergent Fidelity. Great, fantastic. But according to the Bahamas court filing, Bankman-Fried admitted to funneling the money from FTX-owned Alameda to Emergent. Alameda, which was run by Bankman-Fried's ex-paramour. That's one way to say, that three that he was banging, who is now flipped on him and is going to be snitching in court. Carolyn. Yeah, because she was just, twiddling pencils, thinking about dicks all day while she was being the CEO. Sure thing. Last month, Reuters reported the Bankman-Fried had secretly transferred $10 billion in FTX client funds to prop up Alameda's risky bets that he was placing himself. Latest bombshell complicates the ongoing legal battle about who owns Robinhood stake. Alameda. So, by extrapolation, the people who were using and got defrauded at FTX. Okay, filed. Now, valued roughly at $440 million. a little bit short. Okay, so I guess there's $100 million just going to be floating out there in the ether. Sucks to suck. The now bankrupt digital asset lender BlockFi also claimed it had right to the shares. Oh, right, that was the other people. Okay, so Alameda and now BlockFi, right, who acquired FTX in June, alleges Bankman-Fried promised the 56 million Robinhood shares to their company as collateral against the loan for Alameda. Well, you have it in writing, because if you don't, then you know what? Hey, you didn't have it at all. I'm not surprised that it's one of the more valuable assets they have on their balance sheet because it's a public company stock. Robinhood CEO Vlad Tenev, 7% though, that's a pretty considerable stake. I'd imagine you guys were probably doing a few in-person meetings. Did you ever fly out to the Bahamas there, Vlad? And also Tuesday, federal prosecutors were investigating alleged cybercrime that drained more than $370 million from FTX hours before it filed for bankruptcy. Cybercrime, I'm sure that was just a random occurrence, right? Nothing sketchy about that at all whatsoever. Come on now. Bloomberg News reported on that one, citing a person familiar with the case. Criminal probe into the stolen assets launched by the Justice Department is separate from the fraud case against Bankman-Fried. Spokesperson for the Manhattan's U.S. Attorney's Office said he could not confirm or comment on the issue. Well, the DOJ and FTX did not immediately respond to Reuters' request for comment. But you know who is fielding questions and taking responses from SBF right now? That would be the writer of The Big Short, because I guess he wants a sequel. Like, this motherfucker, man, he could be going away for a considerable amount of time, right? 115 years, I think, right now is on the books. That is what, if he is found guilty of all 8 federal charges, he could be spending that long in prison. I'm going to put it somewhere around 10 to 15 years when it's all said and done, because let's be completely honest, white-collar crime is totally prosecuted completely differently. Unless, of course, you're Trump, and then anybody associated with him, then you get the book thrown at him. But come on, we've seen who this guy donates to, so let's keep it a buck here. This guy's doing a fucking fraction of the time that he should for the billions of dollars that he fucking funneled. Oh, we just have no idea where this money is. Bruh, you know exactly where it fucking is. Okay, so just stop this shit. We won't find out about everything, really, in totality until many, many years from now. Not going to have cameras inside the courtroom on this one. All we're going to get is transcripts months down the line, and just, you know, fucking politically motivated court reporters when this ultimately does head to the SDNY in the new year. But we'll be paying attention to it, I guess. But what is he doing in the interim out there in Northern California over this wonderful holiday season? Unlike in New York right now, which is under a fucking state of emergency. Northern California, especially in the places that the Bankmans and the Frieds like to frequent, not nearly as bad. But tomorrow I'll touch on the New York stuff, because that's pretty fucking horrific, all things said and done. Disgraced FTX boss Sam Bankman-Fried already appears to be turning his crypto saga into a blockbuster. Yes, of course, it'll be up there with the likes of The Social Network and Wall Street, I guess. Something like that. I don't fucking know. It's just, what lookers are they going to get to play all of the important players out there? Okay. Like, you could have Simu Liu as Gary Wang. Jonah Hill or Seth Rogen can play SBF. And Justin Long hasn't had work in a while, so he should be available to play Carolyn Ellison. It'll be great. Fantastic. Currently holed up in his parents' home at Stanford University wearing this fucking ankle bracelet. See, the joke would be funny if I didn't trip over the wording, but the ankle bracelet, I'm basically an animal. My freedom is being compromised. But yeah, he can also take private meetings from Hollywood royalty like Michael Lewis. Great. Sources exclusively told the Post Tuesday Moneyball writer Lewis. Hey, I actually watched Moneyball. I don't remember it, but I thought it was good, I think. Spent several hours inside the residence, just hours after Bankman-Fried had landed Friday, presumably talking about the latest twist in the cryptocurrency, or the crypto downfall, which has seen him go from a 30-year-old billionaire to facing up to... Sorry, I noticed that my mic cut out there for a second, so I'll just run this back just in case. Sources exclusively told the Post Tuesday Moneyball writer Lewis spent several hours inside the residence, just hours after Bankman-Fried landed Friday, presumably talking about the latest twist in the crypto downfall, which has seen him go from a 30-year-old billionaire to facing up to 115 years in prison in a matter of weeks. Yeah, but the writing was on the wall a long time before that, if anybody was paying attention. But, you know, hey, all the checks cleared over at the Democrats. And even now, when everybody's like, you know, some of that money could probably end up getting recovered, and you guys are going to end up flipping the bill. Well, we're just going to donate it to charity because we either got elected or it's inconsequential now, and you wouldn't want to rip money away from kids. Fucking creeps. Bankman-Fried's collaborations with Lewis is said to have been ongoing for around 6 months. That's very interesting. Okay, known for a different developments in his stories. Is there something that somebody should have been made aware of during this time? Long before the financial irregularities were spotted. Unless, of course, you were taking a look at some transactions and it's like, this stuff isn't really adding up here. But it was first reported after FTX's collapse in November when entertainment newsletter The Ankler leaked a note from Lewis's publishing agency pitching a book to potential movie rights buyers. There it is, right there. But yeah, man, if you're in with a whole bunch of Democrats and stuff, it's like, take a look at fucking Hollywood, all the connections that are there. The only pipeline that is more fulfilled and the big tech to the White House pipeline is the Hollywood to the White House. Like, it's so fucking patently obvious. It's like, this shit is so fucking corrupt. Come on, guys. Hinting at the MIT whiz kids' alleged squandering of investors' billions, Lewis's reps touted Bankman-Fried's story as more than sufficient for a signature Michael Lewis book. Yeah, of course. Like, you take a look at the rest of his back catalog, Big Short, Moneyball. Don't know the rest of them, but those are the two that have been cited before. And yeah, very unconventional ways of using finances to get to the top of your field. Obviously, beforehand, when all the shit hit the fan, things were a little bit different. Like, this guy was touted as one of the bright ones, okay? He was probably right at the top of all of those top 30 under 30 lists. And then, you know, all of his off-the-books dalliances started to get uncovered. And, well, for everybody else that's out there, anybody who was using FTX or kept their money inside the trading firm, and it's like, oh, fuck, they were big mad about this. But if Michael Lewis was out there, ooh, he was just rubbing his hands together, just waiting, champing at the bit for this stuff. Bankman-Fried's parents are both law professors at Stanford University and well connected with the Democratic Party because they wrote a fucking ton of legislation for the FTC and for the SEC as well. So if anybody wants to affix a tinfoil hat, take a look at the backgrounds of Mr. Bankman and Ms. Fried, Barbara Fried, Alan Bankman, I think, or something. I don't know. The fucking cuck. He can't even get his bitch to take his last name. Holy. They have also upped security, paying for private armed guards and cameras to be installed. It's fucking hilarious, right? Because you take a look at this stuff and it's $10,000 a week. $10,000 a week for people that were crying poor not that long ago, just saying, oh my God, this is just so traumatic. This is going to break us. All of this bail that we have to post for our criminal son to come live with us across country, and for us to just, we can't be seen with the plebes that are out there. We have to fly first class across the country and then back again at the beginning of the new year. Oh my God, this is just going to be so taxing on us. Oh, we have to put up for against this $250 million bail is our $4 million home, but you have $25,000 to shill out just because you guys wanted to be home for the holidays. Like, fucking stop, okay? SBF himself claiming that he only has $100,000 to his name. Just fucking stop your lying, guys. Come on. But now we got a little in on who the judge in these proceedings is going to be, which is kind of interesting, okay? His name is Lewis Kaplan, a U.S. district judge since 1994. He replaces Ronnie Abrams, who recused her. Ronnie, that's a man's, that's not a woman's name. Last week, after learning that her husband's law firm advised FTX in 2021. Ooh, God. Normally, women want to have a husband who's a leader, or at least has good instincts on things. But if your husband was advising FTX back in 2021, unless they were like the linchpin keeping everything together, you should probably reassess your husband and his decision-making capabilities. Just saying. Known for his no-nonsense attitude. Well, the motherfucker is ancient, okay? So it's like old people have no chill to begin with. And they're just going to look at this as like, what the fuck's a Bitcoin? Bitcoin and crypto and you spend the money on the interwebs? Futz it. All right. He's no stranger to high-profile cases. He is currently overseeing 2 civil lawsuits by former magazine columnist E. Jean Carroll against former President Donald Trump. Oh, yeah? Cool. In addition to the battery claim, Carroll alleges Trump... Wait, now we're going into some Trump shit? What the fuck? Defamed her by denying he raped her in a dressing room in the mid-90s. Trump has previously tried to get both cases dismissed. Yeah, because it's just very, very fucking hilarious that... Yeah, somebody would come out of the woodworks, and we're talking about a crypto thief. Why does Trump... Why is Orange Man so bad he has to permeate this story? Kaplan also recently presided over Virginia Guthrie's civil lawsuit against Prince Andrew that they settled outside of court. Fucking hilarious. As of Tuesday afternoon, Bankman-Fried has not yet entered a plea, but he is due back in court in New York next week, and sources say they expect him to fly back private, accompanied by security detail. But again, though the Bankman-Fried clan just claiming to be so hard up for cash, still being able to front the bill for literally everything, because if anybody thinks that all of those billions of dollars went missing, I don't know what to say. Nobody can reach you at this point because it's just so fucking obvious that SBF knows exactly where all that shit is. Okay, he's just waiting. Okay, he's got it in a pirate chest off on some fucking private island. Just go around with a metal detector in the Bahamas. You're likely to find where the billions of dollars are at this point in time. Okay, he was such a little pathetic organization that managed to work its way in. Take a look at all the networks, all the connections. These fuckers were well connected. Still are, it turns out. Okay, and the more I figure out and the more I do research on this topic right here, it really does seem like one of those false flag ops to really organize and really heavily regulate cryptocurrency, because it's just that one thing that's just out there in the ether that's just out of the grasp of the federal government at all times. And with other federal governments rolling out their central bank digital currencies, okay, Japan's launching one, a few companies, sorry, well, at this point in time, what's the fucking difference? A couple of countries in Europe is doing the exact same thing. China's running one as well, and the United States digital currency, it's failing to gain purchase anywhere that it's going. But if you heavily regulate the crypto space, well, now you can just go ahead and artificially insert your USDC right up there at the top. But that's purely speculation at this point. And what we have right here, well, we got the facts on this one. And holy son, SBF, man, he's a shady motherfucker. I don't know why anybody didn't catch him sooner, but the more you figure out about all of his connections, and the more it really makes sense, if you're being completely honest. So, with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.